Nobody's telling you this, so I will. You can make a few hundred display ads, everyone on brand, everyone compliant with your DSPs, HTML5, video, even animated rich media without choosing between fast and good. The trade-off? Retired. How exactly? Let's say AI meets the original banner maker, Bannersnack and Claude. Here is what changed. The job isn't one ad anymore, it's hundreds across every product, language, size, and placement, and all on brand. Producing that volume used to be the wall. AI knocked it down. So just let AI make the ads? Not quite. That's the whole point of this video. Take a brand like Poppi, every flavor wildly different, every can its own vibe. You need ads that hold the brand together while each flavor breathes. All compliant and all fast. Sounds crazy? We'll show you how. I'd say stick with us till the end, because by then you'll have built ad sets directly with Claude through Bannersnack and walked out with a stack of finished DSP ready files. Why Bannersnack? Because we've been in display since 2008 and we've been through every format that came and went: Flash, HTML5, mobile, programmatic, and this AI situationship we're in. So why not just AI? Two reasons, and they're the exact reasons your AI ads aren't running yet. Reason one, brand. AI can grab a few cues, a color, a rough vibe. What it can do is hold your exact brand across 100 variations. Your real fonts, your logo, identical every time. One time ad lands close, the next drifts, and by the 50th you're looking at a different brand. Consistency is the part AI drops, and consistency is what a brand actually is, so. Reason two, compliance. AI struggles with compliant format. DSP rules around file size, font rendering, animation loops, macro variables for click tracking. What it generates won't pass the spec, and what doesn't pass the spec doesn't run. That's where Bannersnack comes in. Claude brings the volume and the logic. Bannersnack brings your real brand system, an export built to spec, and a real editor behind it, so you can open any ad in the set and change it manually. Hundreds of ads, and you never lose control of a single one. HTML5 out of the box, and the ad platforms, ad tech for DSPs like DV360 and the Trade Desk. Mass production that is still yours, not a buzzword. First things first, you'll need a Bannersnack API account. That part is later than it sounds, and you can use it without coding skills because Claude will take care of that, and I'll show you in a bit. Talk to us, we set you up, you get your login and an admin where you can control the users, the formats, and the sizes. Then straight into the editor where we've already got the banner set template, one Nike ad across some common sizes. It's a template so the API can drive it. Remember this Nike ad, it will be back. From the panel on the left, you can change every element across every size at once: logo, image, headline, description, button, background. Change it once, it updates everywhere. If one side needs a closer look, you open it on its own and adjust whatever you want. It's animated, so you can hit play and preview the whole thing before it goes anywhere. So we could keep going like that, that's the manual way, and it's already good, but we promised you hundreds of ads, and here is where Claude steps in. So normally wiring up an integration like this means a developer and probably a sprint. We're doing it with Claude Code instead, like all humans out there. And here is the whole prompt. I don't explain the API or teach it anything. I just give the documentation, paste the link, and tell it integrate with the Bannersnack API. The docs are right here. From there, it works like a developer would. It reads the documentation, works out the request signing, and asks the right question: what language and what this should actually do. Then it starts building. Now here is a moment worth pausing on. Before I hand over any credential, Claude stops me. It warns that a secret key shouldn't go into a chat and points me to a separate file instead. That's exactly the kind of thing you'd want a developer to catch. For this demo, I'm on a test key and I'll rotate right after. So I hand them over and it wires them in. Then it tests against the live API, a clean 200, which is just API talk for it works. The sign is correct, the account's connected. It even reads the real responses and finds the banner sets already in the account. And that's the integration, live tested, built by Claude, talking to Bannersnack. Now let's put it to a real test. Ads from feed. Now this is Poppi, probiotic soda in a gazillion flavor, each can louder and brighter than the last. Lovely for the brand, less lovely for whoever makes the ads because every flavor has a very different aesthetic. But all of it already lives in one place, a product feed, a row of flavor with the headline, the description, the product shot and the background. Everything an ad needs lined up in these columns. So, back to Claude, working in the folder that already holds our Bannersnack integration. I write one prompt and here is what's in it. Use that integration, list my banner so I can pick one as a template. Then for every product in the feed, swap in its headline, description, product image and background. File them all under a Poppi identifier so they stay neat in my account and export them in HTML5. Then I attach the feed itself and send it. Claude connects through the integration and pulls every set in my account. Here's the one we want, the Poppi template that we already have. Here is the template, the strawberry lemon Poppi ad already laid out across the sizes. It's a full set, and like any set, if one size needs a tweak, I open it and every element is editable. Now back to Claude, it checks the template's editable fields against the feed and lines them up. Headline to headline, description to description, product image, background, the mapping's exact. Good. Then it goes to work. A single test row first, punch pop to confirm it lands, then the other 16. 17 products in total, 17 banner sets, all under the Poppi identifier. And here they all are. Every flavor, its own set, 7 sizes each, the whole colorful lineup built from one feed and one template. Let's open one, the ginger lime. It's a live set in the account, so I open one size, grab this Canon straw shot and pull most of the straw out of the frame, just to make a point. Save it and then back to Claude to export the whole lineup to HTML5. 17 sets done, and every one of these is a live set in the account, not just a file sitting in a folder. Open any of them, Wildberry, Dog Pop, whichever you like, and you're back in the editor with every element in your hands. Headline, copy, the can, the background, and refine as much as you can. Meanwhile, the export runs and the files land exactly where I asked, a Poppi export folder, one subfolder per flavor. Let's check a couple. Here is root beer, the tall skyscraper, a real rendered banner straight out of the feed, and the ginger lime, every size as its own file. Open one in the browser and there it is, live and animated with the copy and can sitting how we liked it. One feed in, 17 flavors out, every size, every can on brand. This was generated with Claude, built in Bannersnack, and that's the whole job. Now let's take the same integration and use it for something a bit different. And by that I mean a different language. Remember this Nike ad? Right now it's in English only. Let's make localized version for 4 markets without touching the design. Let's go back to Claude Code. It's working in the folder that already has the Bannersnack integration in it. So I write the prompt, list my sets, take the Nike one, built in French, Spanish, Italian and German, and save the new version separately so the original stays untouched. Behind the scenes, Claude uses the integration to pull my sets from the account, and I point it at the Nike one. It checks which fields it can change, headline and description in this case, and reads the original copy first. Then it translates each one, keeping the new copy close to the original length so it still fits the layout. Super important. All 4 ready to drop in. It builds all 4 through the API, cloned from the original across all 7 sizes with only the copy change. 4 languages, 28 banners. Then I ask them in HTML5 and Claude pulls all 28 ready to run. And here is that folder with the exports Claude just pulled. A folder for each language. Open Spanish and there's the full set, 1 file per size. Open one and it's a real banner inside with animated, the copy sitting where we wanted to. Now say you want to change something, because Claude built this straight into the Bannersnack. They aren't just files, they're live editable sets in your account. So I open the Spanish one in the editor, drop into a single size and every element is mine. Logo, image, headline, button, even the animation. Full control by hand right where Claude left off. So I make a change, hit save, and the set updates. And that's it. 1 English ad, now in 4 languages, every size, every layout. Now one more thing. What if you're a real estate agent and you want a social media ad for a new property? You have a template in Bannersnack, an animated Instagram post, 2 slides with a smooth transition between property photos, all the details laid out. Let's hit preview and see how it looks. It's a nice way to show more than one shot of a property in a single ad. Now there is a new listing, we pull it on from this Century 21 and go for a townhouse just for the sake of the exercise. Now back to Claude code. We're in the same folder that already has the Bannersnack integration. Once the integration exists, it works for everything. We're prompting it to grab the listing and show our existing banner sets. Pick the real estate template, swap the price, description and photos. Keep the description tight, file it under the Serum account fictional name, and export as MP4. Claude reads the existing setup, then fetches the banner sets and the listing page at the same time. It comes with the price, the image, the property details, and asks which template to use. We say, obviously, real estate. It checks the editable fields, writes the description from the listing, confirms it fits, and builds the new set. Then it triggers the MP4 export for both sizes and pulls them into the Export Serum folder once they're ready. And there they are, 2 files, both named for the property, landed exactly where we asked. We can open the square, here is the price, description, the exterior shot, all animated. We can also go and open the vertical version, which is basically the same ad, but it's built for feed. Anyway, 1 listing URL and 2 finished formats and a set that's live in your account. The beauty of it is that if you need to retouch or change those photos, you can do so easily. Short recap, you started with 1 ad, you ended with a full product catalog, a localized campaign set, and the property listing turned into a social post. All compliant, all on brand, all yours to edit. And it runs the same whether you're selling apartments, sneakers, or prebiotic soda. No, this video was not sponsored by Nike or Poppi, unfortunately. Every ad you saw land in that account was finished, compliant, and open to edit. That's what the combo actually means. Claude brings the volume, Bannersnack keeps you in control of every single ad. Subscribe for more advertising-related content. That's it for today. See you around.